Hi there, it's me Ardelius, known as Wild Diffusion, and welcome to hopefully quite a short video where I'm going to be attempting to bring to life an old Master System I had in 2020. I'm very sad to say that this computer has recently completely died and lost all life. Now, in some cases I've been able to repair these systems, but obviously I'm certainly no solderer and I can't really do any electronics. So if anything's gone, it's gone, I'm afraid. It'll be a goner. But I thought we would have one last investigation. After all, I can't break it anymore. Let's put it that way. It's just not working at all. So, first of all, I'll get down the computer. Now, these I know like the back of my hand now, to be honest, because I've modded these computers. A lot, I have to say. If you look here, it's a Radeon Erazer. I think it's a P661. I'm just adjusting my Canon Legria camera, just in case you're wondering what sort of camera I use. It's actually the second one because I broke my first one. I'm going to be quite blunt. It fell off the tripod and smashed, which was really sad. But this second Legria is, I think, even clearer. Okay. Pick a model of the Legria as a HSG10, I think. Yes, you will notice I haven't got many screws in this. That's because I have actually tried to repair this once or twice before. But what I'm going to do is do a complete strip down today and just see if we can get it to work. Just see if we can. Like I said, nothing to lose any longer, except some screws. And I'm good at losing screws. I'm very good at losing screws, actually, a little too good. I might move the camera just slightly more into the computer so you can see what it looks like. Okay, let's go. So, normally when I want one of these, that cooling fan's actually new, so I'd like to get that out of there because this computer, when we first got it, it ran for ages. It was a real trooper. It ran for ages with a fan with wonky bearings. The bearings in the fan were absolutely terrible. And I was like, oh, for goodness sake, this is ruining all my recordings. And, great. It's alright. I'm quite clumsy. I will just let you know. Yeah, thankfully it's come out. I once had an IBM ThinkPad partly died because of an accident like that. Mind you, it was a stupid design on that IBM ThinkPad, and that was the inside of the cover was metal, so when the metal touched the circuitry there was a spark and a bit of smoke, and then the ThinkPad would not turn on without being plugged in. So that pretty much killed all the use of battery, even though the battery still worked in it. And then there was one that went really unfortunate, but actually I think it just developed that fault. Don't think that one actually had a surge. That one just went wonky. I remember I had to throw that one out because that particular one wouldn't switch on without it wouldn't switch on without it wouldn't switch on without what's the word? Without, I did actually have COVID in 2022, quite bad. I'm just going to let you know a little context. I think this has affected me really bad. I'm going to have to say I think I've got long COVID. And let's say I've got other conditions I'd rather not talk about to the public. Anyway, so this laptop is going to basically, the keyboard always blooming does that. This is quite annoying. Okay, so the keyboard's actually fine. The touchpad works, the keys all work. In fact, the keys probably work better than my main system, to be honest, which is going to have to go for repair soon. Like I said, in 2020, I absolutely loved this system. Even though when I first got it, I could have killed it on the spot because it nearly lost all my data. I barely remember that part about it though, because after that it worked as smooth as silk. And I had barely any problems with it, apart from the fan going from it. So, it was a little hero and it really does deserve another chance. Now, I do get my systems names, and this one is called Don Fernando. And I don't know if I might actually have the music it's named after playing in the background, as well as the fact that this is also named after a giraffe character from my franchise, Don Fernando, who's actually Dominic Frederick Fernando, but actually called Don Fernando, who actually was the king giraffe of an old franchise I used to have called Erazer. I had to end that franchise quite recently. It was just making me feel too angry and too aggressive, to be quite honest. It was quite an aggressive franchise. So I've dumped that one recently. You will hear Wild Erazer. That was actually a spin-off franchise that was to be getting the original Erazer to come on TV. But in the end, Wild Erazer has become a world away from the original Erazer. So I've kept Wild Erazer. It's absolutely fine. So in the end, I dumped the original one. The replacement is pretty much, well, there's a bunch of replacements that I've got now. I've split the races of my world up even more. And you're probably thinking this is a bit confusing to you. You'll learn more about it, I'm pretty sure you will. Anyway, a little bit about me. I absolutely love collecting laptops. I've got a huge stack of them way over there. I'm very, very into computers, and so I was at school. I used to sometimes nearly break the school computers and get into a bit of trouble. I'm sure we've all done that. The first thing I learned to do was change the screensaver. The teacher showed me how to change the screensaver, and believe me, after that, the rest was history. I pretty much learnt the rest myself. For Windows. Now, it's not to say I'm very good on other OSs. Linux, not that good on them, I'm afraid, and Apple, Mac, I don't really touch, to be honest. I'm just not a fan of Apple, that's all. No, disrespect to that, but it does kind of run in my family a little bit. We're not huge fans of it. So, here we've got the system. Right, so what I'm basically doing is I've disassembled the system. So what I'm now doing is I'm now going to pretty much take all the wiring out and sort of put it back. And I've done this several times for these systems. So I'm trying to let it almost have like a bit of power off now. Now, in theory, if we really can't repair this, the screen is still good. And I might even go ahead and take the screen off if it's a goner. Because my internet system that I probably used to bring this to you, sadly, I noticed a slight screen fault on it last night, but mind you, it didn't happen. Now, the internet system might fool you a little bit. It's over there, and I don't know if you can see it actually. And it's got the lid of an Erazer, and yes, it's another mod. The bottom of it isn't a coil, but the lid of it is an Erazer. It was basically to upgrade the screen. I did not like the screen that came with that system. Otherwise, that's been one of the best systems I've ever owned. Otherwise, and that's being true. It's on Windows 8.1 now, and it runs pretty good. It runs pretty well. In case you're wondering why it's not on Windows 10, I can't stand Windows 10. It gives me migraines. But one nice little perk is that I'm really liking Windows 11. I've actually got that dual booted on my main system over there, and I'm really liking it. So probably gradually I'll switch over to 11. But my main productive system will probably always be Windows 7 because it never goes on the internet, and I use very old software because I don't like a lot of the new software that uses the cloud. I can't stand cloud. I'm sorry. I'm a privacy freak, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. But doesn't mean to say I disrespect anyone who does use the cloud, because my best friend, I know he uses it. I imagine it's useful for those who require it. And I do use some online software. I'm not going to lie, I'm not totally against all online software. One of my favourites is Canva. Maybe you've heard of Canva. I use that for a lot of my creations that you could say Pinnacle is unable to do. It's actually Pinnacle 17 of them, and I know it's going to make me sound even more out of date, but once again I want to explain to you why that is. All the other versions of Pinnacle just run too slow for me, and I'm very impatient. So that's basically the truth behind that. I don't require their features because I actually don't really edit or shoot in high definition, except on my Canon camera, which works fine with 17. I think it's a case that the main system that I've recently got myself, which is Midion Erazer X, I can't remember the model of that, but it's over there, and it's got an octa-core i7 in it. It's got it's got at the moment 16 gigabytes of RAM, but when I take it to get repaired, I'm going to have that upgraded because I bought some new RAM for it. And it's got a couple of M2, maybe not NVMe, because yes, I did make a little mistake with that stuff. I've certainly got myself corrected there. But actually, it probably does support NVMe, but I've never been able to get it working because I installed Windows 7 the wrong way. I should have done it UEFI. So, a little late. I'll have to wait until the next big reload of the operating system, and I don't know when that'll be, before I can correct that. Once I correct that, I probably will be able to get some NVMe software for it and speed it right up. But I'm not too bothered. I mean, the stuff that I do, 2 terabyte Samsung Evo, it's doing the job. Absolutely doing the job. And it's much better than what I had. So yeah, I am, into my tech, but as you could probably tell, I'm not in favour of all the latest tech. But doesn't mean to say, right. Of course, it's not. You guys can't exactly shout at me and say, "You're putting that in the NVMe slot, you idiot." I'm sorry. That's why it's not going in there. Oh yes, actually yes. That's not the first time I plugged the wrong thing into this one. Actually, that does not work any longer. I'm sad to say. This lost its NVMe slot when I bought a Samsung Evo. It's M2 slot, I meant to say. I think I got an NVMe thing. This didn't support it basically, and it nearly blew it up. So yeah, it wasn't good. And I lost the slot since then. So let's go. Right, is that the screw for the wire? I'm always losing these little wire screws. I lose screws all the time. I'm very sorry. Like I said, I am quite careless. Doesn't mean to say I break things all the time, but I can quite often push things to their limit, and that's why I need to have a very strong main system. I am hoping that later this year I'm going to be maybe building my first rig. I'm really excited about that. Well, getting my first rig probably built for me more like, because I haven't really got the time to build a complete rig of the knowledge. So I'll probably be getting a pre-built rig. It's basically to take care because recently, since 2023, like probably quite a lot of us, I've got quite into AI. And I'm sort of doing like, training, not training, AI art is my big one, with Stable Diffusion. And I do also love the fact Windows 11 also has an online AI art, AI that is really good in Copilot, so use that a lot now as well. But it's mainly Stable Diffusion and web platforms such as Forge, Automatic 1111, and my favourite one, Easy Diffusion, because there's a way to run that on Windows 7 if you get the extended kernel. So that's quite cool. I don't have to change OS to run that one. Right. Okay. I think I've lost the screw. I think I've lost it. I'll probably find it later when I fall over it, but I've lost it. I don't know if you can see it. So, well, I'm gonna basically say, this laptop, like I said, I'm only trying to see if I can get it to power up again. If I really, really can, then it's a goner. And I'm not expecting any of this has helped. But at least I've had a go, and at least I can be satisfied I've had a go. I hate throwing computers out when I think that they could have been alive again by the time they get thrown out. Hate that. I like to confirm they're dead. And one like this, I really won't be letting go of too soon because it's very sentimental. For the fact that, for a couple of facts, shall I say. As well as the fact it was a very powerful system. And I thought it was the most powerful thing ever when I got it. It was like, wow. I was like, hey, this is the sort of thing I want for my work. And then suddenly, bang! I didn't even know I was going to be getting the main system that I've got now. Once again, got that because of AI. Because of AI. It's got an 8GB NVIDIA in it. This has got 4GB NVIDIA in it. It wasn't doing very well. So I decided to get an 8GB NVIDIA and bought the really powerful main system I've got now. And it just walks over Pinnacle most of the time. As long as Pinnacle is willing to let it. But Pinnacle is such a temperamental program. But I've been using it since I was a kid. So, I've got used to it. I'm really not too bothered about that. This is edited on Pinnacle. I can assure you it's edited on Pinnacle. Probably 17. The only time I use 20 is for some animation. But like I said, 20 just tries my patience because it's very slow. Very slow. To be fair, maybe I've never tried 20 through Windows 11, but I can't imagine it'll be much better. I have discovered Windows 11 has some compatibility issues with some programs. I've just realised that might be the while because that's not holding any of the scores. So is that my line script? Is that my line script? Let's see. It's maybe a little bit big, but is that my line script? Yeah, because it's the line script. In it goes. Marvellous. There we are. There's the line screw back in. Right, that's good. That's good. Okay, so like I said, this is just a huge reset. Now I was going to pop the cover off and everything, but I didn't really need to do that. Oh, just realised something. Probably need to actually put the keyboard back on before I do that. Yeah. Okay, so I want to feed this through to the bottom so I'm able to get it. So this is a sort of laptop, basically you can pretty much work with it without taking the motherboard out. I have actually transplanted the motherboard in one of these before, and that's a huge achievement for me because, most of the laptops I can't even repair by myself, and that's just being honest. Like I said, good with the software, maybe not so good with the hardware. That's being truthful. Screws especially, they get on the nerves. In fact, I can guarantee you, the barely a laptop in this collection will have all the screws. Because I'm like, why did the manufacturer put all these screws into it? And then I'm like, something, I don't need all these. And most of the time they get along quite well. I take them down to the normal screws. Take them down to just the essential ones. Sometimes there are problems and I suddenly realise maybe I shouldn't have took a screw out of that part. But most of the time, absolutely fine. Get that fan in the background, that's my main system. Doing some sort of scanning as it got stuff that worked up. I have to warn you, it's very volatile, my main system, actually. I have to keep an eye on it most of the time. It just goes into mad, it does mad stuff, to be honest. The fan just goes ballistic on it for no reason sometimes. This is why I think it needs burning. Although, it's got a wonky BIOS. The BIOS is wonky. I'd love to reflash it. But every time I reflash it, I'm flashing it for wonky one, so that's no use. I need another BIOS, and then I've got another one. Radeon have done not very well with our BIOSes. I've had a lot of BIOS problems with Radeon being unable to be repaired if they go wrong. So I like medium, but that's one thing lets him down a little bit. But obviously systems like this is pretty amazing for better. And it's still a system I could use it today. Because if that one goes back, I might even end it. I wanted to actually put this one in its place temporarily. But it's not looking like it will happen. Because this one, like I said, just suddenly went off and switched. This is why I'm doing this. I want to know. Are you finished? Or are you coming back, Don? This is Don Fernando's computer phone. I will let you know my characters have ever so many different forms. And due to that, when one form dies, it doesn't necessarily mean the characters died. It just means one form of them has died. So I might lose the computer form of Don Fernando, but the draft will be fine. The draft will live on. At one point he was going to be the king of that aggressive Erazer place. But, well, it was too much for him, shall I say. Because Don's quite kind-hearted. Right. Okay. So you can see I put this together. You know, too badly. I mean, maybe not exactly customer satisfaction, but definitely my own. So yeah, I'm going to now take a lead, plug it up and see what it does. Probably nothing. Okay. This lead fits it. Okay, do you want that? Switch on or not switch on? I could pretty much say that, to be honest. It wasn't long. Yeah. Yeah, that's a goner. That's a goner. Sorry, that is a goner. Just look at the seams. What I probably really need to do is try and put the seams. The seams is really packed in there. I would definitely have to remove the board to take the seam moss out. I'm in the mood to do that right now. I'll do that some other time. Be the last hope if the CMOS is hard. Oh, hold on a minute. Something not plugged in. Just something not plugged in. Is that why it's not switching on? It's not plugged in. Hold on. There's a connector. It's empty. It's empty. It's empty. Hold on. I've made a mistake. Oh, I've made a couple of mistakes. Hold on. I can see now. And I've done this a couple of times with this model. The keyboard's not plugged in. Okay. I'll have to quickly whisk it apart and yes, I've done this a few times. So this really is just a little introduction to who I am and what I do. It's not a lot, but I've got very high anxiety, so I can't handle things very easy. I mean, these computers sometimes can push me to breaking point. But I'm going to try and be as calm as I can because, well, there's nothing to lose here. I'm not under huge pressure like I am when I'm repairing my main system. I'm like, oh no, if I mess this up, I'm going to lose the main system and I can't afford that. This is just, I mean, I've rolled it off. I wrote it off about a good few months ago. I wrote it off. It's dead. And we're quite blunt. It's probably not going to make much difference changing putting the CMOS. I'm a little bit curious. Because CMOSs are troublesome. Do you think so? CMOSs are troublesome. They can store just that little bit of data that can wreck the computer. CMOSs are troublesome when they go wrong. I should say when they go wrong. I've got a couple of computers and I've actually had to take the CMOSs out of this will do. That's something, this is one. I should consider doing it. Yeah, I've got CMOSs are really bad person. I've got back to it, I'm going to have to unscrew the motherboard, even just slightly. Put that. Yeah. Like I said, I have actually transplanted a motherboard in one of these computers. I have actually done it. I'm just rather not I'm not showing myself completely for them. So, I'll probably edit this down. Using pen. This computer was absolutely right, okay, yeah, I think that's maybe now get to it. Right, yeah, I can see it now. Right, put this on. But I'm going to actually just put this on and leave it out. If I can get it, I'm going to take it out and it's just going to start. I can see what I'm doing. No, that's not, okay. I don't know what that is, but that's probably not good news. Okay. Right, I'm going to now try and put that together. Where's the motherboard screws? Yeah, probably not the smartest thing for me to do to take the motherboard screws out and put them in the other screws. But like I said, I'll probably be getting them screwed together. I mean, I don't expect this will ever be a main system again. It's just that I'd like to keep it alive if I could. But that's if I can. If I really can't, I might one day look for another one on eBay. As I do collect computers. I go on eBay a lot looking for old laptops. With some very interesting models. Particularly some phones I got last year. Including my very first laptop, or clone of my very first laptop. Which was made by Time Computers. Time Computers, AK something. Letters. I know, it sounds a little dodgy with the letters AK. Sounds like some sort of weapon making. No, believe me, that was its model. It was something like AK. Has ATI Radeon. From what I remember the processor, and it's a Celeron. But it was a really fast Celeron. Some Celerons are good. I don't mind Celeron. Some people some people really don't like Celeron. Some people like Celeron's terrible. I would be quite blunt. I actually prefer Celeron over Pentium. Now, how weird is that? Pentium, for me, has more faults. It throttles a lot more, and Celeron just plods along. My first main system was a Celeron. It was a HP tower. It was actually one of the first 1 terabyte models. I remember when I first got it, I was like, I'm going to fill this up on years. But yeah, in my background of my instincts, I had a feeling I would sometime. I sort of, didn't let that part out at the time. But in the back of my head, I was thinking, why are you saying that? Because if anyone's going to do it, it's you. And then I was quite shocked that a couple of months on, it was possibly full. I think what actually happened, I seen all the space. And I was like, oh, I love all the space. And I went into creative mania, basically. I went like, right, I'm going to just let all my creative energies out, all of them. Just got to let it all out, just got to do what I like, it doesn't matter. I've got tons of space. And the space disappeared. And I was like, oh, flip, I'm going to have to back this all up now. Which I know you should do. And believe me, I've been on the receiving end of a drive with no backup. It was a Seagate Barracuda in 2018. I lost everything. I am never buying a Seagate Barracuda or Seagate for that matter again. I hate that company. Seagate I've never worked with. Western is my favourite. Toshiba's my second favourite. And do you know Fujitsu drives are quite good for IDE. In fact, Fujitsu in general I quite like. Got a couple of Fujitsu computers, including one of my oldest computers is a Fujitsu. And yeah, they're a good company. They made all my school computers. Well, actually, they made the later school computers, but I do also have a laptop by the first make that made the school computers. The one where I learned all my skills, actually, and that was the RM. And on the other side of that, I just had to have one of those in my collection. I've got a couple now. Couple of RMs. An RM like sort of tough book replica model with coloured keys. I've got another RM, but at the moment it's out of commission because its drives died. But technically it still works. And then I've got two black RMs. A little bit of a story behind those, and I'm not really sure if I want to tell all of them. But what I will say is one was from a friend that was going to give me his laptop, and one was this is the story actually. One was from a friend basically, and he said he was going to give me the laptop when he upgraded. He didn't know when he was going to be upgraded. So I said to myself, right, okay, what I'll do is I'll buy myself a clone of your computer and have it in the collection. And then when yours gets here, I could have, I could maybe have, two of them. Or I've got a backup, either way. And in the end, the clone I got was quite a lot lower spec. It was, I don't know why I'm putting all the screws in this bit. It was quite a lot lower spec. It was an RM, I'm not sure, RM Clevo model I think, which coincidentally the chassis of my main laptop is also made by Clevo. Clevo are quite good actually, I'm fair on them. Got a couple of laptops that have got Clevo chassis. Including a Zoo Storm laptop and with pink lid. But anyway, I'm going back to the RMs. And the two black RMs, basically, yeah, I bought that. I didn't know it was going to be slightly different. I thought i3, i5, well, for what I use them for as members of my computer club thing that I like to hold by myself, they'll do fine. And sometimes sometimes my friend comes over to my house and we play on them together. So I thought, yeah, that's going to be fine for running my games because my games are not high spec. So basically I said to myself, right, okay, i3 will be fine, I'll be alright with i3. And my friend actually had an i3 laptop, so he was alright with it. So we bought the RM, and then right after that, the other friend, the one that was going to give me the RM, it was quite cool, decided that was the day he was going to upgrade, so I ended up with another one. But mind you, his one probably actually works better. And definitely it's more sentimental. So, I appreciate things that have, similar like your tunes. Yeah, that was quite cool. There you are. So I've unplugged the CMOS and it's still not turning on. So this thing is dead, I'm afraid, unfortunately. Don Fernando is, well, could say, Don Fernando has went back to the Safari. Yep, he absolutely has. What a shame, a real shame, because this was, like I said, a dead good laptop right there. It really was. What a shame. I'm just going to actually double check under this cover again that I make sure I have actually connected everything. Because remember last time I hadn't. So I am going to double check this. But yeah, it's looking like he's pretty much dead in the water. The motherboard's actually very similar to the motherboard in my internet computer. So due to that, this adapter definitely should power up. It's powered it in the past. Check all it. I think I've done a much better job this time. Yeah, that leads connected. That wire's connected. There's no M2 slot, like I said, broke the M2. well, VM2 itself didn't break. It's probably on another computer, but the slot broke. I said, let's look. Yeah. That's all connected now. So this is the best chance I can give it. So it's finished. Basically, this laptop is done. I'm going to have to just, I might keep it for the screen and a couple of its other parts for some of the ones I've got. I'm really, just quite have to say, Don Fernando is finally finished. Got him, like I said, in 2020. It was a dead good computer. It really was. For me, 2020 was actually a really good year for me. I know a lot of you had a bad time in 2020, and I'm very sorry about that. But I actually quite like the pandemic thing. As you can see, I'm sort of person that likes to stay in and tinker with stuff. So, work on projects and stuff. So I really did not mind 2020. It was fine for me. And I didn't have a lot of relations. I don't have a lot of relations. I'm not a huge, gigantic social person. I'm trying to be a little bit more, but I'm just not that. Doesn't mean to say I don't appreciate all of you who are watching this now. Absolutely not. I'm really grateful. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Although this laptop in the end has been a failure. But I feel better to have tried to repair it. I feel better for doing that. I'll be sorry if there's for any reason a lot of jump cuts in this video. It's going to be quite a long video if I don't edit it. I'll probably edit a little bit of my protracted rambling out of it. Because I am certainly a talker. So that's it then. Oh, I knew I was going to boom and happen. Look what I found. Yeah, the blooming Wyland screw. The Wyland screw. Absolutely. Well, I don't require your assistance anymore, so you're going straight to the bin. Because we've got another worker to do your job, and it's something to, but it doesn't matter for this computer anyway. It's done. Basically, that's it. Curtains for Don, which is, like I said, pretty sad. In fact, I actually took one of the stickers that I bought for this computer and I recently moved it to my main system. You could say as a mark of respect for this system that did really well as my studio system back in the day. Really unfortunate that it's now a goner. So, where is it going? Alright, let's look at something slightly brighter just before we end this video, because I don't like to end videos on a sad note. This here is my newest laptop I bought, and it is a replacement of a laptop that I had, and I really liked it. I really liked the computer. But sadly, it didn't last very long because, like this one, it was a second-hand model. This one looks like it's been looked after a bit better though. This shows you sort of things that I collect. I mean, the specs for my systems definitely are not demanding, which is why I can get a lot of my systems really cheap. I mean, it's got a dual-core Pentium in it and it's running Windows 7. And even if I don't run Windows 7, I'll often put 7 on my collection computers because it's my favourite OS. And yeah, it doesn't really matter because none of those go on the internet. So, you know, they just get gathered into like on groups and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward to loading the game onto this one, maybe trying it out sometime. We might try running Defarius on here. Speaking of which, I've started work on the 4th Defarius. The 4th one, which is I'm changing the rules slightly in the 4th one because the old rules are not completely working out well. Got here. I'll show you this actually. This one might actually power up because this one I use it a lot. It's got a great sound, this computer. It really has, the sound is really good on it. You probably thought that was very professional. Yes, I actually bought it from a school clear out. But as you can see, it's an old system. It's got a Vista sticker on it, Pentium. I think it's another dual core and Dolby Sound Boom and a flat battery. Don't worry, this one does work. absolutely totally fine. Hold on a second, I should have just plugged this in actually because I think this blue will hold it. Is he going? Yeah. Let's have a little look at him. Might just do a quick start up and shut down of them, but you will notice probably a few of my very interesting and slightly questionable customizations I made to my computers. But there's a CMOS battery failure occurred. First half went to continue. Okay, so the CMOS is gone in, that's fine. Like I said, CMOS is nothing but trouble. Yeah, like I said, I give all the computers names. And I do actually do custom boot screens with their names on. So this one's called Atomic, named after this Acotake character. This is his laptop form. He is quite atomic, this one actually. Now I think this will play the national anthem of the Acotakes when it boots up. Yeah, I've got real wallpapers and rotating on it. Hopefully that means it'll be alright to go through. I can always cut this bit out if there's any problems, but I think it'll be alright because it's a well-known piece. I think it's called the New World Symphony. Well, I mean, you're hearing the sound already. I don't even need to play with any sample music. You're hearing the sound already. One thing I'll probably never ever do is monetize my channel, so I really don't need to be quite as careful about this as some other people do. Because, well, I'm just going to say that's not really my style. No doubt it's useful for people, I definitely understand, it's a very useful thing. But I myself probably would never be doing that, so I don't really need to worry about this. The only time I need to worry is that if I get a copyright strike and it goes wrong and it ends up silencing part of the video, then I'll have to do an edit and probably re-upload it. I'll probably delete the first video, re-upload it. I haven't had that happen yet. The only one I very nearly had it happen on was a piece of music by my favourite composer, Jean-Michel Jarre. So I'm a little wary using tracks from his album Electronica. He seems to be being a bit stricter about that one. I think Equinox Infinity was alright though. Anyway, shut this down. I'll just cut that short. Right. Yeah, that's just a lighter note to finish the video on. Don't like to leave them on a sad note. And believe me, most of my computers work as well as that. So, this is actually one of my favourite ones. Okay, thank you so much for hanging out with me, because today, for this little vid where I have been trying to get Don Fernando to come back to life, but in the end, no flipping dice, I'm afraid. No flipping dice. Sorry to give you a disappointment that way. Goodbye, I'll see you some other time.